Hey, what's up everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day out there. I'm your host Phil, and today's video I want to showcase you AURORA DSP's latest plugin release, the DriveThru CERBES. Let's roll that intro clip, listen to a full mix, and then we're going to talk about the plugin. Alright, this is what the CERBES by AURORA DSP sounds straight out of the box. I really like this tone, but I think I can get a better tone by tweaking a little bit, but more onto that later. Let's first talk about the plugin itself, what it's all about, how it looks like, and then we're going to dive into exploring the tones. The CERBES by AURORA DSP is basically a teaser plugin for the upcoming DriveThru Dynamic Suite, I think it's called, and what is basically supposed to reflect, it's supposed to be a huge suite with a lot of different overdrive, distortion, preamp pedal types included. And I think the idea behind this type of plugin is we have a lot of plugins which either lack like the super high gain stuff, or we actually have a lot of NAM profiles and Tonix profiles out there. However, a lot of these profiles are only capturing the amplifier in itself. So having a suite which is dedicated to having as many different overdrives and boosts as possible for these type of, let's say, unboosted profiles is actually a pretty clever thing to do. It's kind of filling a much needed niche in the market because it's rarely seen that you have like a suite where you have a lot of different boosts over there. You usually have like one or two boosts included into an amplifier plugin, and you're kind of stuck with the decisions with which the developer made, which sometimes are, I wouldn't say not the best choice, or they're lacking something which you like. So this is a cool thing. I'm really excited to try this out when the real deal gets out. All right, let's take a look at the graphical user interface before we then move onward to exploring the tones, which this plugin offers over here. We got the stomp section as the core section, which has 3 different stomps. We got the Extreme Overdrive X808, obviously modeled after a Maxon OD808X. Followed by the CERBES, which is the heart of the application over here. This is the KSR CERES. I have not played one in person. I cannot verify how close it sounds to the real deal, but all the clips which I've seen on YouTube and what I've heard so far about the CERES, the original, is that it sounds pretty awesome and is one of the best preamp pedals on the market. Then we have a delay pedal over here, which is very sophisticated in its setup over here. I already tried it out. It really sounds very lush, very nice and fancy. Next up, we got the cabinet section where you can set up 2 different speakers and choose out of one of 4 different microphones per speaker. And you can set the position, you can set the angle, and it's actually turning right here very nice and neatly. And you can set up the distance over here. You can also load your custom IR if you want to use your own impulse responses, and you can then, of course, use a blend of the several setups over here. Just going to leave it as it is right now. You got this air knob over here, which adds a little bit more top end. And in the end, you can also export the IR and select to choose or to add the air setting and the EQ section as well when exporting that. Speaking of the EQ section over here, we got this EQ section, which is fairly sophisticated. Let me go to the factory default settings over here. Now, this is already what you have imprinted. This is supposed to replicate the behavior of a power amp, I would assume. So this is kind of the presence, this is kind of the depth over here, because the CERES, or the CERBES in this case, does not have those dials in there. Yeah, what else do we have? We have the output and the input. I will set this to -2 dB on the input, just because my interface is a little bit hotter than, for example, the Focusrite Scarlett series. And then we have the output, just to avoid clipping into OBS. I'm going to set it to -2 dB as well. We got a tuner over here on this plugin as well. I'm going to mute this over here. And yeah, this works pretty well. This is a really good tuner over here. Let me quickly tune this just to showcase how quickly it's going. You know, yeah, this is super quick, and this is pretty accurate, this tuner. Oh, okay. I think we got all of out of the way when it comes to graphical user interface. This is what it sounds straight out of the box. Now, this is a really good sound already out of the box. There are a few different things which I personally would like to change. For one, I am a sucker for SM57s, so I'm gonna take that. I already know the positions which I liked most in this plugin over here. This was this plugin, this was this position over here. I'm gonna blend this 100% to that respective side. Now, we're not done yet. I like to have a ribbon straight smack up right at the center and then blend to taste. Let's say 75-25. Let's exaggerate the air. I think we can leave it at 1.5. Okay, now so far the cab section is to my liking, maybe a little bit more on the side. So you can really play around and get very nitpicky with the cabinet section over here. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna leave the EQ as it is for time being. I first want to explore the CERBES over here. I personally don't think that the Extreme Overdrive X808 is a good match for the CERBES, to be honest. I'm gonna deactivate that, at least not for the lead channel. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Let's push the gain completely over here. Let's first talk about the settings over here. We have this bright, feel, and mode knobs. I think the mode is kind of the upper mid frequencies, while the feel is the low end. When you put it up over here, you get kind of a massive low end, and if you put it down there, you get a little bit more tighter sound. I think through trial and error, what I liked the most was something around this over here. Now it's a little bit woofy, especially in the low end, so in order to compensate for that, I'm gonna set up the low cut a little bit higher to 105 Hertz. There we go. Let me go back to the stomp section. Let me boost a little bit with the Maxon OD808X, or the Extreme Overdrive X808. Now, it tightens up the amp significantly. However, it also affects the lower mids in a way which I don't personally like that much. That's why I don't think it's kind of a good pairing for the CERBES. I think the OG green Maxon Audio 808 or the Overdrive 808 would be a better match in this case. But this is just talking of experience, of knowing what the real deal does in regard against the OG Maxon Audio 808. Now, let's leave it as it is for time being, and let's dive into the delay. It has a strange sizzle which is going on the later repeats, but if you're playing, you're not really hearing them. You only hear them when you kind of stop and go, like this, this underlying. That's a little bit strange, but apart from that, this is a very flexible and strong delay which can do a lot of different things, and you can get it to tweak it exactly where you need it. I really like this. There's no complaint except for the slight sizzle, which I don't know where it's coming from, but I can absolutely easily live with that, to be honest. Now, to be honest with you, the lead channel doesn't seem to be exactly my cup of tea, so I'm going to deactivate the extreme overdrive, and we're going to go to the rhythm channel. You already kind of recognize that in the mids, there's something different going on apart from the EQ settings. Of course, they're not on par, but I recognize something else, which is really cool. Look at the extreme overdrive. It's changing with changing the rhythm and lead channel, which is really cool because that way you can make up your very own personalized lead preset and your own personalized rhythm preset. This is really well thought out. It's not apparent at first sight, so that might be a little bit problematic if you kind of want to A/B compare only the rhythm against the lead channel. But this is something which is a nice surprise. Somebody made himself think about what he's designing over there. Okay, the rhythm channel. Now, first off, the EQ, the low cut, which I took out before, I'm going to put that back over here because I think that on this channel, the low end is beneficial to the tone. Going to take out the bright over here. Going to bump the treble for that. I like that more. The feel, let me go to the most low endy setting. I feel like if you set the feel down below and therefore crank the bass, middle setup is definitely the best one. Okay, set the level to the same level as the lead channel. Now let's let's take back the gain and therefore boost the Maxon OD808. I'm gonna take the tone out a little bit because I know it's very extreme on the original 808X. I have to say, again, the Maxon 808X does exactly what, or the Extreme Overdrive X808 does exactly what the Maxon OD808X does, but I'm not a fan of it in this particular scenario. So I'm gonna deactivate it. I'm gonna crank the gain over here. And if I need additional gain, I'm just gonna pump the input gain over here. Okay. Let me do one final test before we call it a day. I'm going to turn off the IR on this side, and I'm going to load in my custom IR. Now, I'm going to have a link in the description below to this IR, so you can download this IR and, yeah, use it for yourself. All right, that sounds awesome. One final test just to have it complete. Let's check out the clean. What does the tone do? One thing which I'm always missing on clean channels is a good chorus. Let me quickly just add a plugin over here. The Azurite, which is a fantastic free chorus. I'm just going to set it to guitar warm. That. That would be the last final thing missing. I'm very curious to see what Drive-Thru is going to give us when it's going to reach its full form and its full potential and going to hit the market. And with that out of the way, let's get to the conclusion. So the conclusion out of this is a really cool plugin. I really like this a lot. There's some stuff which I personally would have done a little bit different. I would maybe have gone with a different overdrive, but I fully understand that it's kind of overdone to always go with the OG Maxon OD808. And kind of to mix things up a little bit and kind of tease what's going on with the Drive-Thru, it makes total sense that they added the overdrive, which they added in the end. This is a really cool teaser plugin. I really like the format. I really like the concept behind it. You know, first of all, that it's kind of a teaser product for something which is upcoming. That's cool. It's very affordable. I think the normal regular pricing is $20. And if you go to Resington's video, which you definitely should, and there's going to be a link in the description below so that you're getting the code from his video and not from my video, you can get 20% off of this plugin, which is an absolute bargain. It costs then like $16 or something. This can definitely compete with higher priced products, and you're supporting a small local amp sim developer out there, which is always a good thing to do. Yeah, so go down below, check out the links in the description below. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you learned something or took something cool out of this and enjoyed your time hanging around. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff if you want to. If you enjoyed the video, I highly appreciate it. And until the next video, keep it metal.